So, what if everything we think we know about gravity, about dark matter, even about the Big Bang, is just wrong? Today, we're going to dive into a research paper that basically throws out the old rulebook. It puts forward one really radical idea that tries to solve some of the absolute biggest mysteries in all of physics.
All right, here's our roadmap. First, we'll look at the giant questions that have current physics totally stumped. Then, we'll get into the wild solution this paper is proposing, the O dimension. We're going to see how it completely flips our understanding of gravity and the Big Bang. And then, at the end, we'll see if it actually pulls it all together.
So, why even bother trying to come up with something new? Well, because modern physics, as amazing as it is, has some really serious blind spots. There are these fundamental cosmic mysteries that our best theories, well, they just can't explain. Okay, first up, dark matter. When we look at galaxies, we see them spinning so fast that they should have just flung themselves apart ages ago. Something is holding them together, some kind of invisible glue adding extra gravity. We call it dark matter, but let's be honest, we have absolutely no idea what it is. And then you've got dark energy. For the longest time, we all figured the universe's expansion must be slowing down. Turns out, it's speeding up. Some mysterious force is pushing down on the cosmic accelerator, shoving galaxies apart faster and faster. We gave it a cool name, dark energy. But that's it. It's just a name for a ghost in the machine. And here's maybe the biggest shocker of all. We don't really truly understand gravity. Yeah, Newton gave us the math, and Einstein's picture of warped spacetime is beautiful. But what is it, fundamentally? What particle carries the force? When you get down to the tiny quantum level, our understanding of the most familiar force in the universe just falls apart. So how do you even begin to solve these massive puzzles? Well, the paper we're looking at today offers one single, incredibly bold answer to all of them at once. It's called the O-dimension hypothesis, and it starts with a pretty wild idea. Our universe isn't self-contained. It's actually being powered from the outside. Okay, here's the core of it. This theory imagines that our entire universe is sitting inside something else, a perfect, symmetric, and timeless dimension of pure potential energy. Don't think of it as a place you can go to. Think of it more like an energy field that is constantly pouring into our reality, powering everything from the outside in. And this sets up this really fundamental contrast. See, our universe is, well, it's messy. It's got a past and a future, things aren't perfectly balanced, and everything tends to break down over time. That's what scientists call entropy. But the O dimension, it's the exact opposite. It's perfect, it's eternal, it has no concept of disorder. This theory is basically saying our entire reality is just one imperfect little ripple in that perfect ocean of energy. Okay, so if our universe is being fed energy from this outside source, what does that actually change? Well, for starters, it totally reframes gravity. In this new picture, gravity isn't a force that matter creates. It's just an effect of how matter gets in the way of this constant energy flow. So forget about bent spacetime. This theory says matter doesn't actually attract other matter at all. Instead, what it does is it blocks the flow of energy coming in from the O dimension. So what we feel as gravity isn't a pull, it's a shadow. Right, think of it this way. Imagine our universe is being showered in a constant energy rain. Now, when you have two big objects like the Earth and the Moon, they each act like an umbrella, blocking the rain coming from their direction. They cast an energy shadow on each other, but the rain is still pouring down on their far sides, and that pressure literally pushes them together into that shadow. So gravity isn't a pull, it's an external push. Now, this whole new framework doesn't just redefine the forces we see today. It actually goes back and rewrites the very first page of the cosmic history book. The paper takes direct aim at the Big Bang, flat out calling the idea absurd. And the author's argument is basically this. How could a single, chaotic, violent explosion give rise to a universe that's governed by such elegant, intricate laws and structures? To the author, it doesn't add up. So instead of a violent explosion, this theory imagines a much gentler start, like a spark. It imagines that our O dimension wasn't alone, and that two of these perfect, timeless energy fields just barely brushed against each other. And that tiny interaction created a single flaw, a knot, where perfect symmetry broke. That one little imperfection is what rippled outwards to become everything, our entire universe, with its messiness and its relentless flow of time. The paper makes the case that the birth of the cosmos should really follow the rules of creation we see everywhere else, right? In nature, new life doesn't come from a random explosion. It comes from the interaction of two separate things. So why would the universe be any different? This theory suggests our origin is less of a bang and more of a conception.
Okay, it is a fascinating story, for sure. But does it actually work? Let's circle all the way back to those big mysteries we started with and see if this O-dimension idea actually gives us any real answers.
And this is where the theory gets really, really ambitious. It claims that this one single idea, this external energy source, can explain pretty much everything, from the accelerating universe all the way down to the spooky connection between quantum particles.
So what's dark energy?
According to this theory, it's not some mysterious force inside our universe. It is the universe's engine. It's that constant, steady flow of energy from the O dimension that's pushing everything apart and making the expansion speed up. Simple as that.
And dark matter? The theory says it's not a what, it's a where. It's not some weird, undiscovered particle we have to hunt for. It's just the combined gravitational effect of all those energy shadows being cast by all the stars and galaxies. That extra grip holding galaxies together is just the universe pushing in from the outside.
This theory even has an answer for quantum entanglement, that spooky action at a distance. How can two particles be instantly linked across billions of miles? The answer in this model is simple. In the timeless, distanceless O dimension, they were never separate to begin with. They're just two different views of the exact same thing.
Look, this theory is definitely outside the mainstream, and it's for sure highly speculative. But it does leave us with a pretty mind-bending final thought. What if the most fundamental thing we experience, the passage of time itself, is just an illusion? What if it's just a side effect of us living inside one tiny, flawed ripple, floating in an infinite ocean of timeless perfection?